Hey everyone, welcome back to SSX. I'm Insetic. With me on this video is Blank Tester.
Hey kids, how's it going?
Turo.
Hey.
And Zindictive.
Sup, lads?
And so we've gone through World Tour, which again was sort of an extended tutorial, or at least an extended, getting to see each mountain range, and now we're going into the, real meat kind of the game, Explore mode. So you can go to every mountain range, every mountain, every track, to race them or trick them, get the gold medals and, survive them on some of those where it's relevant. And so, you only saw a selected group of tracks on each mountain. And in this video, I'm gonna show off kind of my, personal favorite of the additional tracks. Again, on that second peak where, again, in World Tour, sure, you do one track as sort of a lead up to the Deadly Descent, but there would be others. And so, you can also see sort of how it is. Then you pick a character, and you'd pick all of their, stats and
Gear
suit and board and stuff. And so hopefully in this one video, I can kind of give you an explanation, show off sort of everything that could be entailed in Explore mode. It would obviously be way too much footage and such to literally film everything and show it off. But like, for example, your character skins, and here by this point I'd picked up some with additional bonuses. There's epic bonuses, legendary bonuses, more. We can get into that more, but actually before we kind of do our world tour, we're going to pick up a secret. The secret 1 million credit snowflake.
What?
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a snowflake put in the game that gives you 1 million credits. It's on Kurno's mustache here in the Rockies. And it's on top of this tower.
Got it.
You got it on the rewind.
Wow.
Making it look easy. I remember I tried for 2 hours to get that snowflake.
Dang.
Yeah, he only tried
It's
for
a
1
million-
minute and
a million
57
credits for
seconds.
using. Yeah.
Wait, Kellis, we got
He actually
we
did
got
that
a
like
million.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah. But
Boom.
I mean, going, leveling up, and obviously it's on sort of an exponential curve. You need more and more and more credits, and going from level 9 to 10, especially, where 10 was the max level on the base game release. If you have, the DLC or maybe even just the updates, now you can go up to level 15. But that 1 million point credit snowflake definitely helps you out there. And also, at level 10, this is really where, your enjoyment can just take off, because you are allowed to put on 2 gear then at level 10, which means pretty much, you can always have a wingsuit on and also put on
Whatever's required.
Whatever you need to
a track
survive.
might need. So here, I'm actually going to show, I'm back in Africa, on the additional track Incoming, which a lot of these were very popular back in the day for survive it events, because these are going to be harder than what you saw picked for you in World Tour. Like here on Incoming, the when you go between the death pits, it doesn't do a V shape where you can grind the edges. So it's quite a bit harder than what you had to deal with in World Tour.
All right.
I feel like I interrupted myself and I forgot where I was. Oh, but yeah, they want you to put on a headlamp, but pulse goggles actually are pretty good for anything dark, even levels in all the other mountain ranges where it's night. If you're going through some tunnels over there and it's really dark, pulse goggles are a really good option for having pretty much on all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's good visibility when you're doing flips and stuff in the dark. The headlamp's not always pointing forward.
gets rid of that kind of balancing of, if you're flipping and spinning, the headlamp won't be facing forwards all the time. You'll still be able to get enough information. So again, at level 10, when you can get 2 gears, that's where you'll really be able to get a lot more fun.
And at
That's
some
really
point
cool.
you do get 3 gears, right? But it's way, way in the future, right?
Yeah, I think that is level 15 or level 14.
Holy shit.
And at that point, it's several million per level. Several million XP per level.
Right.
Fucking
You
hell.
saw, and I don't remember if I'm going... I think I am. I'm going to buy access to level 11 here, which was 1 million credits in and of itself. And then, actually, I'd say the credit amounts to get up to the next level don't get that much worse. than it was from 9 to 10, but the fees to buy access to the next level get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
To where it was like 7.5 million credits to buy access to level 15.
Huh.
It's a little grindy. It's a little grindy.
Yeah,
But I mean, like,
It was also made with you playing online and having like constant content to
Yeah,
do,
and I mean,
like in mind
Yeah.
as a
at the end of the day, if the gameplay is fun, the grind isn't bad.
yeah.
You know?
yeah, that's true.
This is very much like,
Like,
an
there are
online
some-
thing, you know?
Yeah. There's some games that
Yeah,
are like
and also
really,
you get
really
helped
good.
along by GeoTags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, though I've heard otherwise, I think that the geotags you see around you are based on like what level your character is. Because certainly when I'm level 10 here, I'm not picking up any geotags that are very low credit levels, you know, that would have been like a level 4 or
right.
5. Because yeah, as your geotags get higher level, they're basically worth more and more, have bigger payout. And so as I
Is
was
it possible they scale?
Well, so as I was taking a character from like level 11 to 12 to 13, and so, yeah, I'd start getting bigger payouts on the geotags I did see and collect, to where like at the end, I was pretty much only getting rewards of like 200,000 credits from them.
Oh.
Though then again, you know, the real hero is the green geotags, which are inexplicably just put along the main path, not even hidden at all, and then you collect them, and that is worth like 300,000 credits XP.
What?
Wow.
It would happen every so often.
Damn. Because most of the time
Alright.
those green geotags are like 5,000.
So, yeah, now we're on to Alaska. I'm doing these mountains in alphabetical order, and we're here on the track Lockjaw, which is actually a remake, kind of a facelift of Happiness from SSX.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, you know, kind of see it in some of these areas. Yeah, back in the day, I thought, like, oh yeah, this ending area looks very similar, but now that I'm back and play it again, the whole thing is you know, top to bottom kind of a remake.
Yeah.
That's super
Like,
cool.
this
I
is the
didn't know
big
that.
tunnel. This is the big tunnel, and coming up is the
Oh,
big
yeah.
jump after the big tunnel into the... Yeah, like right there.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah,
big jump.
that's...
Holy
This
shit,
is pretty
yeah.
cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm rolling with my boy Moby, so I can do a lot more superb man bar spins.
Yeah.
Johnny Superb Man here.
But also, you know, yeah, just was at the right time to be like, okay, I can use him for this recording,
And I think
Get him a bunch of
coming
XP.
up here, yeah, the helicopter flies by, which the airplane, the Osprey that drops you off does too, at the same time in SSX 3.
yeah, but you can't trick off of an Osprey. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you can in theory. I'm sure in real life you could if an Osprey were to fly close enough to you. You would also most likely die, but
Oh yeah, that'd be safe.
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I don't know if you'd most likely die, but you definitely should do it.
There's like that like the pilot would have
There's
to
a high
write, like,
enough
a
chance
report
of
when he
death that you
lands.
should just choose not to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you're gnarly enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, like maybe they do that in Jackass 4.
yeah.
Exactly.
I know I
That'd
reference.
be I mean... No,
Oh, okay. I know I reference things like this too many times, but I'm reminded of the story of Alvin and Brittany, where the doctor tells him where he only has a 1 in 20 chance of death from his like bleeding leg, as if it's like this
I
like
don't
really
remember that in
small
particular,
chance.
but that was good. The card in the corner, but
Yeah.
yeah,
like
man.
you only have like a 1 in 5 chance of dying if you trick off this Osprey. It's like you're fine. You're still mostly likely to live. Yeah,
I mean, if
you gotta
you're
go to the
really
last second.
pessimistic, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I got gold because I was doing a combo like the whole way down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've already gone through these. You saw like what my results were. You saw a decent amount of silvers actually, because while like the tricking events have some decent buffer room, and you know the survive it events you can kind of take your time on to a degree. Some of the racing events are actually pretty tough. Like
Really?
you will actually need to get to like level 10, 11 and get a board, you know, that has the stats of that, and be quite good at the game. Definitely not as much buffer here, but like,
be
again,
a little
swapping the
scrub bitch.
suits, or going between them, I thought I was going to choose that one, but I'm picking this epic suit with extra tricky time. So yeah, you see like epic suits, legendary glowing, they can have special effects. Yeah, the game is pretty good at, getting your lizard brain to want to check those and see if there's something new every time and possibly spend credits on. But okay, we're here in the Alps on the track One Step Ahead. And like I said back in the Alps video, so the track you saw on the second peak in World Tour was to set you up for the rocks thing. But here the other tracks on the second peak are crazy. Like literally just these thin lines with, sheer cliffs to both sides. And it's just the developers going all out with this concept. It's really cool.
It is very strange how, like, for all the optional tracks, they sort of abandon the gimmick of the mountain and just go with this.
They just designed
They
some
kind of
cool
go
shit.
a bit trialsy. Yeah.
I don't know if it's, like, too
Like, it's
close
just-
to what they did for Patagonia.
You know what?
Very
It
line.
reminds
But,
me
like-
of Trials. It also reminds me of Descenders.
Yeah, Descenders
Yeah,
swell.
the valley, what was the name of, like, the new secret area they
Yeah.
added?
Ridges.
Ridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Like, yeah, I don't know if it's, like, too close to, like, what they did for Patagonia, but this could have been a deadly descent in and of itself, I think.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, it'd probably be hard to do because you could just cheese it by going really slow.
But
Yeah,
we're taking a
this is the
wingsuit.
kind of thing where, you can. I think it said wingsuit required.
Oh, really?
Which, of course, they're never required when they say that piece of gear. But the game will say like, "Oh my God, you're most certainly going to die,"
Yeah, you have a 4% chance of living.
Yeah.
rather than
like
like
Alpine.
a 60% chance.
Yeah. I think it's very funny to me how on those, like,
Oh my
first,
God.
like, Rockies mountains, they said
Jesus.
you have, like, 100% chance of living. Like, there is 0 possible chance you could die from this. You're not gonna, like, hit your head and concuss yourself. Like, you will live.
Yeah, it's a foam mountain.
They made the whole mountain out of foam.
Yeah.
I
No
mean,
bitch.
these are the SSX characters.
Holy
They
shit,
have
that is
survived really, really deep fucking
Ghastly falls,
for worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I
sure
mean-
they can, like, handle about 1,000 feet.
I mean, literally, if there's no death pits and there's nothing in the level that activates the, hey, you're gonna have a health bar here, then yeah, there is no possible way to die.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying, to take the fun out of it. But yeah, I mean, this is super sweet.
Yeah,
and,
this is awesome.
and yeah, it requires a high degree of, concentrating and calculated risks, and it's really cool looking up, what is the world record time on this versus,
Oh, shit, yeah.
what do you get when you finally get, like, the gold medal or such.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I gotta
betting that
look
the
that up.
people
That
who,
sounds
like, spend probably days to weeks trying to, like, grind through these tracks for, like, how fast you can go and such are, like, fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with how sensitive, this game is. Like, every line is, extremely precise.
Yeah, you have to be very meticulous in your movements.
God
Oh,
damn.
that would have been a hell of a thing to save.
Yeah.
And
Holy shit.
I just noticed you do have a health bar on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Gold medal.
So yeah, sometime in the past, I'd actually done that in like, just like 15 seconds faster. Again, I wasn't using this as like, oh, see me crush all my times and such. Again, it was fun, just, leisurely going through, doing explore mode, doing the racing, tricking, and again, surviving at events, which I won't be doing any here in this video, because they do take quite a bit longer than the racer trick events if you are good at surviving.
That's
Basically,
true, yeah.
on survive at events, you try to survive it like you did in the World Tours, but when you get to the bottom of the track, you go right back up to the top and keep going. And then it's a thing of like, oh, your equipment is inevitably going to wear out, or the weather gets worse, and
Or
you
your
can't see what's in
health,
front of
you run out of health or something, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we're on Antarctica now on Longhorn. This is a pretty sweet track because it takes place inside kind of this It's almost sort of like a hollow glacier cave, and oh yeah, also big head, big hands.
Yeah.
Oh. DK mode.
So
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And the bottom of this track is really awesome. You're basically almost free falling your way down this, hollowed out again glacier. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Just other things, I'm in offline mode here, so you're seeing my personal best as the kind of ghost along with gold, silver, bronze. Again, this might be something where I didn't see this since the Xbox 360 servers only are 10% active, but maybe on PS3 you might see this where one of your PS3 friends, you'll see their ghost going down the track, if you want to beat them, to get extra XP. It's pretty cool. Again, I remember back in the day when, a lot of people would be playing these and playing some of the global events, and you'd play and see other people that were doing it at the exact same time.
Yeah.
You couldn't physically interact with them, but it was still cool seeing kind of other riders going down this track.
Yeah.
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 It's just anything the game can do to convey that other people were here.
Yeah.
You are a part of an online community.
And considering being able to combat other people's ghosts and such, this game totally shows off a lot of competitiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be the
And
best border.
Really, even when you think about it, how different is racing a ghost to just racing someone you don't, a stranger online in real time?
How different is it to racing AI?
God damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
who put that rail there?
Interact with the ghosts, so it's not like you're trying to knock it over. Yeah.
How do you build that rail? I think that rail probably had a death count of 30, and I'm not talking about the people who rode it and fell off.
I think a few of these rails, a good amount of them, have a death count of 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people died in the making of this game?
An entire new division of OSHA was created simply because of the worker hazards involved with making these tracks.
How they made a new division of OSHA instead of just shutting the events down. They're maybe this is a little bit too dangerous.
They had to name it Tosha, Tricky OSHA.
Yeah, tricky OSHA. Because OSHA doesn't actually stand for anything. It just is OSHA.
No, it just sounded cool.
Yeah.
It's like the ECHL.
Tricky OSHA.
Turning OSHA into oh shit.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
something, I don't know. Yeah.
Bruh, this game is totally Tosha.
This game's Tosha.
How would
That
y'all
run
feel
was totally
if
Tosha. I should
How would
say.
y'all feel if the art style of this game just had all the characters like this, but otherwise the game is exactly the same?
I would hate it.
It'd be goofy.
I think it's god awful.
It would remind me of those Xbox Live Arcade or PlayStation Network,
Oh my God, yeah.
kart racing spin-off games. I know that's really specific, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even
It
know
would
which.
remind me
I
of the
can't name
Xbox
one, but I
Live
know what you mean.
avatars.
Yeah.
Play with
So
your
we're going to
friends
the
online.
Himalayas now,
Fine.
and I was showing off there, that was the Mount Everest track, and the oxygen tank was only required for the Survive It event. The 2 levels where you'd need an oxygen tank, here in Explore, you only need those for the Survive It's. In the racing and tricking, they got rid of that requirement, which means that even they kind of realized it was a pretty annoying
Kind of
gimmick.
fucking blue.
What if
It was kind of annoying, in World Tour, having to do the oxygen thing and also race or trick.
Yeah.
But here on the Himalayas, we're actually at this course called The Monster, which again, it was a popular, Survive It event back in the day. It looks totally different to kind of the art style of the Himalayas. It's super, as you can see, glaciery with a, ton of cracks and holes between them.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it the monster? Is it the monster?
Ooh. I guess Turo have, since you've probably played the most out of the three of you, how do you feel about, these other tracks, the ones I've picked, or would you have picked a different one for a mountain if you remember?
Gonna be honest, I haven't played most of these.
like a showcase of what you
Yeah.
get outside of World Tour.
I mean,
Okay, never mind.
yeah, I've not seen most of these before, and I haven't really played the game in like a while. But I will be honest, I didn't even know the game like really had some of these like more interesting tracks like in
Holy
Explore
shit.
mode. Yeah, like this
That
is
was a hell of a rail.
This
They
is
had like
not
50 dead people.
yeah, this is out there.
Yeah, I mean, like this.
Oh, you know what this
anybody
reminds
who
me-
has the misapprehension that SSX 2012 was a more realistic take on snowboarding than the other ones, no, it is
Yeah.
not. Like,
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Mount Sorkabaska from Downhill Domination.
Oh yeah.
from what?
Downhill
Where it's,
Domination.
there's that section where
Oh
it's,
From
right.
Downhill
Which-
Domination.
Yeah.
yeah. And you guys looked up whether Mount Sorkabaska was a real place, and apparently
Yeah.
someone asked that question on Quora.
Yeah.
In a way, this kind of reminds me of like the second track of Cyclone Circus, where like it's this whole like bunch of ice broken apart, and you have to jump across all the little gaps and such. It's kind of
riding down a
obnoxious,
glacier.
but yeah,
Here it's probably more fun,
yeah.
Yeah, because the game's probably more fun than Cyclone
and also you
Circus.
have a wingsuit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can glide in Cyclone Circus, so there is that. But you have the wingsuit here too, so that. Never mind.
Oh my
Cancel
god.
that.
They stole it from Cyclone Circus.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Scott's trying to save Cyclone Circus. It's not gonna happen, dude. We're not gonna fall for it.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so we're on to New Zealand, and I'm going to pick Thunderbird here. This is an example of where the devs for other levels were able to take kind of one deadly descent or one obstacle from, one mountain range and put it on a track where that's not on the main range. So in the Rockies, you were dealing with trees. You're going to be dealing with that same thing here, but also in the whiteout conditions. So yeah, you're going to be trying to race down this corridor where you could barely see in front of your face, and there's tons of shit in your way, and it's going to be quite chaotic.
That's why we got the epic armor in.
Because you see, when you explain it, like, not that you're like editorializing or anything, but when you explain it like that, it actually sounds kind of not fun. But I'm going to assume that they make it fun.
I thought
Like,
it sounded
it's
awesome.
not like bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that sound like just having a bunch of shit in your way is like one of my least favorite things in games.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that
no,
it's not
I mean,
like
to me, like every
frustrating
time I
having
close
shit in
my
your way.
eyes, I'm just like giddy.
As long as I'm not able to perceive, I am happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, oh yeah, there are just like a bunch of trees. I do like how New Zealand, we mentioned this in the New Zealand video, but like New Zealand sort of has like just this one constant like aesthetic because you're doing I guess in the story mode, you're doing all of this in one day
Yeah.
because you're like going toe to toe with Griff. It's like the final countdown.
Also, this pulsing is like making a really weird effect. Like it's,
Oh yeah.
it's kind of like deloading the textures and such into its purest model form.
I think
it's
that's
just
intentional.
weird.
I don't think it's doing that. I think that's just
Yeah.
like an intentional filter.
I didn't
Are we
really
in the
think about
Matrix?
that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like whatever
pointed out that-
whatever shader they're applying to do that pulse thing is really cool.
Yeah,
This game just looks fucking cool.
It looks
does.
so fucking.
it does.
Oh my god, you're going so fast.
It just has such an aesthetic to it that it's awesome.
Man, this was one of the standout songs in this game, and realizing that it was done by DJ Shadow makes a lot of sense now. That man can do no wrong.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I've never met the guy. I've also only
Yeah.
listened to like 3 of his songs. But I'm
Okay,
sure,
so you don't know what you're talking about at all.
I'm sure he could do no wrong.
Oh my
I'm sure
god,
he's
I
a
love DJ Shadow. I've heard like 3 of his songs.
I heard that one song with Run the Jewels. Oh, that was a Run the Jewels song?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you mean that wasn't that wasn't him?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, actually, it's relevant then that his album Introducing, the one everyone knows, is a guy like flipping through records at the record store, because you and I, well, mainly me, and then you were telling me that no, stop being weird. We're typing in Discord about how like I felt like the modern version of that, going and buying CDs off someone on Discogs that I couldn't find otherwise.
Yeah.
It was the cyber version of flipping through records at the record store.
Yeah. We just have so much more at our fingertips now. You can buy anything from anywhere. You can do that virtually to like. Yeah. These are Discord moderators.
I don't use mods all that much. One, because, well, if you buy them along the way, while you keep leveling up, they're going to be useless to that character, as you go on. But then also, it feels like they're all one-time use. So it's like, oh, if I'm struggling to beat this tricking score, struggling to get this gold medal on a race or such, I will usually just want to find a better line rather than buy a mod that might make me a little faster.
Yeah. Because then it feels like your performance in that event is a one-time thing. Like, you're not going to be able to do better than that without the mod.
You're trying to improve with the track instead of just adding a crutch in to help yourself.
Yeah, besides that, I mean, like, if
now,
you
of course,
get...
again, all of the... Oh,
Good. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if you put a mod on that boosts your speed, then that's going to affect your line because you're going to hit the track at a different speed, and so you may not go off a jump the same way. So like your line's going to probably change anyway, depending on what the mod is. You might as well just find a better line.
It's just it's just a variable, and like
and again, all the world records will have, as many speed mods as they can apply.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously there is an effect. It's just like, again, when you're playing more casually, just trying to get the medal when you're going through a track. I don't know, I didn't feel worth them. Okay, so we're on Patagonia on the track Last Call. This, again, was a popular one to try and survive, because this is like... they're kicking, the difficulty of, managing your wingsuit and such up to 11. Again, like, the tracks that you saw in World Tour, yeah, they could be tough, but, again, they'd be fairly obvious with what you need to do, like, for your wingsuit, how much you need to apply it, da-da-da. Last Call, this is just, like, this is a path that you make work. Like, if you didn't have a wingsuit, this wouldn't be anything that anyone could traverse.
It's sort of like an extension of that one on Mount Everest where it was just the bunches of glaciers. It's like that, but it's more far apart, and you got a wingsuit between them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right, with, like, wilder kind of in and out, paths and such.
We're gonna give you platforms, you gotta make it work.
You just gotta get tricky, man.
You figure it out.
Yeah. So really cool, but yeah, as you see, like, the Tricket score you need to get for gold is like less than 300,000. And you'll be like, what? I can get that in 1 or 2 jumps. And then you'll keep falling off the track and having to rewind and taking penalty after penalty. And you'll be like, oh, I see the issue now.
Yeah.
Even on the other parts, like, the issue is surviving the track.
Right.
So we're going back to the Rockies.
Back to the Rockies.
Back where we started.
We've got the Dagger here. These 2 tracks that actually meet up here. Yeah. It's not like this is like extremely wild compared to the other stuff, but I thought it was the coolest one you didn't see.
Yeah.
You're buying more mods. That's the other thing about mods, is that especially like when you're going through the game, they're very expensive. Not these, but like you bought, like last time, you bought one that was like several 100,000. It was
also timed. It had about an hour of time left on it for some reason.
Yeah, that shows up every so often. You'll get like a limited time deal where, sometimes it's like a mystery item. Sometimes it shows you what it is, but yeah, again, it flashes the lizard brain sensors of like, oh, I gotta buy this now. It's not like, this game is not like draining your wallet. It's not microtransactions, but it is doing all of the things of like, oh, we want you to spend these credits, You know, hey, doesn't this board look cool? Hey, doesn't this outfit look cool? Hey, don't these mods look cool? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's a bad thing again, though.
It was before all that shit got, like, really bad, but this was still, like, when those sort of things were in their testing phase.
Yeah.
Like, how much they could get away with.
If they had made this game like a couple of years later, it would have been like in-game earnable loot boxes.
Yeah.
You still wouldn't have necessarily been like real money purchases, but it would have been loot boxes.
Like,
now, all the
you
way
would have
down.
been
It is
getting the
EA.
snowboards after, like, instead of getting XP from events, you would get, like, a rare box that would maybe have, like, a 2% chance of giving you a legendary snowboard.
100%.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so glad it didn't.
Yeah, that is true. That is kind of depressing to think about, actually.
Well, I mean, I'm glad we're kind of past the era of loot boxes in gaming. You know?
I think because they got made illegal, like in some countries.
In Europe, like, I think in the...
Oh, really? Okay, that's
either
good.
in the entirety of Europe or like several countries in Europe. Like I know in some countries like they have to put warnings on FIFA games now that like this
Really?
game has simulated gambling systems in it.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna say it right now. The loot box thing, I hate to say it, it's still kind of going on. There's like a Hot
Yeah.
Wheels game that does it.
there are
and everything.
still some
Yeah.
games that still have them, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it's still around. It sucks.
yeah.
but you
It's
know
not
what?
as prominent though.
We play games on this channel before that happens, so
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I say we as if like you know
Yeah, we
It's
all
like-
have a hand on the controller.
we're all there. This is
Yeah,
a lot.
you know
Heroes
what?
hitting the jump
Here's the
button.
thing: when Connor's playing these games, you know, he's sitting in front of his TV and he's got his hands on the controller, and they get sweaty. They get so sweaty, but not because he's playing really hard. It's because
you're
we've all got
holding.
our hands on top of his hands. They get very, very clammy in there.
These have actually been live commentaries this whole time. These
This
jump
whole
cuts,
time.
Yeah.
like he has
right
like a
next to him.
macro to like jump cut through the game,
Yeah.
like
You know,
on
back-
his Xbox.
Yeah, you know, back when I moved and like it took a while for me to start uploading again, that wasn't because like I had to settle in with a new job and everything. That was because I had to learn how to play games by myself. I'd always had Bob operating the other half of the controller.
Yeah. I'd always be like, "Shh, it's okay. Shh,
It's okay.
it's okay.
It's okay. It's just
You're gonna beat this level. We're gonna beat it together."
Crusty
got
Demons
this,
is
buddy.
almost over.
He's like, "Okay,
I never wanted Krusty Demons to be over.
yeah."
Okay,
Never
uh,
wanted your
Crusty
demons
Demons to
be
last forever.
crusted.
on the last of the main 9 mountain ranges, well, bottom alphabetically, Siberia with a additional track.
Yeah, let's see what this shit's gonna be.
Like the other additional track. It's sometimes that second mountain has 3 tracks, sometimes it only has 2.
Sometimes
This
it has
isn't going to be
7.
as wild as before. And I'll also mention, like, again, I'm playing offline during this recording, mostly because when you do play online, again, on Xbox 360, where, like, the servers only half work, it adds quite a bit to, like, the loading times and the times, things try to happen behind the scenes
Oh,
after you
yeah.
finish. You'll see that in the next video. But I'm playing offline, so you're not seeing any GeoTags. Which, again, I just want to mention is a pretty, good and decent department there. You mentioned kind of trying to, things the game does to build a community. And I think, even at this stage where the player base is pretty light and such, finding geotags along the way and placing geotags in, spots where you're like, haha, I'd like to see them try to get this.
Yeah.
That does definitely add to the enjoyment.
Yeah.
It was a pretty smart thing.
I mean, it's kind of like Mario Odyssey's balloon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should probably play more Mario Odyssey sometime.
Yeah.
Plus,
Don't
it-
bother, man. It's a
Yeah.
retro game by this point.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, like, this game
Top
kind
10
of does.
retro games no one has heard of. Portal 2.
Portal to oh god!
Portal 2 is a little known retro game for all you ancient gamers out there that want something that no one else knows. Okay.
Yeah, an obscure hit.
Really flew under the radar.
By that standard, this game is a retro game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cult classic.
I mean,
Okay.
this game is older to us now than SSX 3 was when this game came out.
I mean, consider that this game's release is closer to the time of Cleopatra than it is to us. Whoa. Right? Like, whoa, dude.
Oh my god.
Every second that goes by, this game gets 1 second older.
Holy shit.
I mean,
Top 10 facts that'll blow your mind.
Yeah. This game is closer to Cleopatra than we are, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's technically true.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
It literally is. If you do the
Okay,
math.
so that was, some additional tracks I wanted to show off on all of the, the 9 main mountain ranges. But this game does have a bit of DLC. So there's 2 more mountain ranges to check out. Mount Fuji here in Japan, and then Mount Eti. So we'll be going to Fuji on the next video, and looking through that mountain and all the tracks that are on that. But yeah, that's explore mode. You go through it all and try to do the best you can, get all your gold medals, level up your characters, find the best, get the best outfits and such for them, and
go to town.
yeah. So again, DLC the next few videos on SSX.